They assess who should be given assistance and how much. It calls for us to do much more, if you see the distinction. So one has to, in a way, choose. So that's one. So we do not have the mandate to dig into. We are deeply concerned about statements of hate messages that have been made by some individuals and groups. The statements could incite systematic ethnic violence. Threats were made to wipe out an entire ethnic group from the face of the earth. Such statements are in violation of both international law and South Sudan's domestic laws. Any statements that could incite ethnically based violence are totally unacceptable. The United Nations condemns them in the strongest terms.
For these members of the media to go to the ground and see what is happening there.
We can take note of the request for additional media to be able. Sadly, the chain of retaliatory violence continues unbroken. As we all know, a number of attacks have the last few days happened on Lao Nur communities and now also the Dinka communities in the state. We have been relocating our military forces to the locations under most risk and threat in both communal areas. Their role will be primarily to act as a deterrent to attacks from other communities. States, we actually moved forces from Wal, from Equatoria, so the issue is we need to try to resolve this in a different way. Calling for additional deployments and additional deployments in the buffer zones. Now, it's a very different way of operating than the attacks we've now seen into the Lao Nur and the the Lao Nur and the Dinka areas. The attacks are in smaller groups, speedy, unpredictable, follows no particular pattern. And as I mentioned, if we were to predict those, we would be doing miracles, because we cannot predict exactly which village they will attack. That would lead to a number that is very.
It would be helpful if you could provide some clarification if there's an estimate of the number of casualties that have been counted up to this point.